Ayeni, looking at it critically, and we've seen from protests that happened in Mina to escalating to Niger, and of course now the tankers who are refusing to load in fuel. What are we looking at? Reflecting back to Arewa House, where the Sultan came out and said they are tired of calming the youth. What other escalations are we going to see when it comes to the social unrest that is envisaged at this moment?
You see, let me start from that Arewa angle.
Yes.
For the elders, the emirs, saying that they are tired of trying to cool down the youth. It has already started. That unrest has already started because, one, why are you calming down the youth if they are not planning to go to the street? Nigeria, even at your homes now, once you don't have money to take care of your home, your son, your daughter, your wife is hungry, assuming your wife is not working, and even if she's working, she looks up to the husband. And by the time you come back home, nobody says, Papa, welcome. That unrest has started. Tinubu administration must try and do something to salvage the economy, because otherwise, if people pour on the street, let me tell you, Nigerians are always very patient until the last moment. It is said, once you push me to the wall, my back is already in the wall and I can't go back further. What I do is to fight forward. You understand?
Yes.
So it should not come to the level where Nigerians have to fight forward, because it will snowball into something that nobody can be able to salvage. And I pray, because they normally say the worst democracy is better and better than the best military administration. We don't want to go to that. We don't even pray to go to that level. But the government of the day should not push Nigerians further.
But sometimes, Ayeni, let's look at the, you said the worst democracy is better than the military administration. But, you know, let's compare a little bit. When the military were in power, we did not see all of these things. At least it was more calmer. But they will say there was so much infringement of human rights. But we didn't face all of these issues at hand. At least we didn't complain then. I'm not supporting it. I'm just saying, if we were going to compare, if we look at it critically, there was nothing like scarcity of food, the removal of fuel subsidy. Things were better compared to what we're seeing now, and yet we're in democracy.
Yes, that statement that I just said a while ago, you know, is pregnant in the sense that the world over, there is this preaching about every country being democratized. So they don't want any country in the world, no matter how tiny that country is, to be in the hands of the military. Like, look at 3 African countries now, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. They are in the hands of the military. They are even cut off from ECOWAS or AU. You understand? And they are even trying to form their own alliance. The 3 countries are trying to form their own alliance against others. So, which means they are not even prepared to go back to democracy. And that is what the world over doesn't want. Even in Africa, we don't like it. Because military administration, of course, they don't have assemblies.
Sure.
In Nigeria today, if you don't have assembly, you know how many people will be out of the job.
A lot.
Each senator today in Nigeria has about 4, 5, 8. Same thing with House of Rep member. And if you calculate all the number of legislators we have in this country, and there are 8 becoming jobless, it will even be more than the situation will be more than what we are even seeing today. The insecurity, the insurgents, and everything, because everybody, when it comes to where we are now, you don't have food to eat. Where do you go to? Now, while I was waiting at your reception here, I overheard some people saying gas has gone up.
Yes, it has. People are resorting to charcoal. Yes.
And somebody even said, even that charcoal, you need kerosene to power it.
True.
And where is the kerosene? So we have returned ourselves to ground zero. Now the only thing is how to sort out ourselves and see how we can be able to live as one indissoluble Nigeria, or we now said goodbye to each other. Because Nigeria is becoming too big for one person. The way I look at it, Nigeria is not Lagos, and it can never be Lagos. If it's too big, let us come to the round table and say, gentlemen, let us do it this way. We may even to fragment ourselves and see, or maybe give it a timeline. Let's go this way for 10 years and see if we can do it better than how we used to be. If we cannot, okay, let us come back and see if we can come back together. You understand? But now, having Nigeria, putting all your eggs in one basket, and if that basket falls, people are blaming the current administration of Tinubu.
Yes.
Of course, I would not subscribe to that myself. Tinubu is just about 8 months old.
Yes, in office.
In office. Trying to fix what had been damaged in the last 8 years or thereabout. And if you want to add PDP period, you know what PDP did too. So let us not even go there. Buhari came in, we looked at him as a messiah. Based on his antecedents, we now saw that during that period, that military period, it was Idi Agbon that was doing the job. Not even Buhari. Buhari cannot administer this country. He couldn't. And he left after the damage. And that is what Tinubu is trying to fix now. For goodness sake, we should allow him. I'm not speaking for him anyway, because it also hurts me too. I'm feeling the pain. Driving here alone, I know how much of fuel I use. From my house to this place. I am feeling the pain. And now I hear that tanker drivers are going on strike.
Oh, yes,
so we are in a double mess. Who is going to fix this country? There is no person in this Nigeria today that we all come from.
Well, let me say, Ayeni, I want to ask a question. Looking at these tanker drivers who are actually suspending any form of work mode when it comes to refilling their tank, what is the advantage and disadvantage of this strike? Is it to be in the place where they feel the pains of Nigerians, or it's for their own benefit? I'm trying to understand.
They are trying to look at their own benefit anyway. Okay. Because they said there were certain agreements that were reached. They reached with the federal government, and it has not been, it has not come to fruition. Now, if you reach any agreement with federal government said, we are going to pay you in certain tranches, not in a lump sum. You understand? Why don't you consider yourself, one, as a Nigerian? Forget about whether you are a tanker driver or not. One, consider yourself as a Nigerian. Consider yourself that you are from one state, one local government, or the other. Consider yourself that you also have families that go to this same market that we all go to.
True.
So by the time you inflict that hardship on Nigerians, you are equally doing it on your own, to your own family. So what is the benefit there? Because now by the time these people, your own family members, who know that you are the cause of this wahala, and they don't have anything to do again, they will pounce on you because you caused it. And you put them into hardship. They won't be happy with you. Forget about the fact that you are a tanker driver. It's not because I'm a journalist today, I will see something that I think will inflame this country and go and write it. It's not possible. I won't write it because I'm also a Nigerian. You understand? We are told, even in the newsroom, if you are in doubt, you leave out. You understand? Then, assuming you tell your editor, look, this is story. Your editor who is superior to you, it might not be by age, but is superior to you
by
on the
experience.
Depth, for experience, will tell you, look, don't you think this story will cause so problem if this story is being used? It will use its own
initiative.
So if tanker drivers will not put Nigerians in their own shoes and see how it pinches, for goodness sake, they are not being fair to this country.
At all. Okay, so Mr. Ayeni, let's shift gear a bit to Edo 2024 election. Of course, APC...
The three candidates.
Yes, the three candidates. And you know, of Edo election, it's bizarre for me to see the parties are so much, that alone. But I just want to know what your take is concerning these three candidates. What is your take, being realistic, your opinion on these three candidates?
You see, I hear among the three, one of them that was dropped out, Agba, is threatening even to go to court.
Oh, yes.
The former Minister of State is threatening to go to court. You see, one thing they should, as a party, the APC, should sit down and think of. They are in opposition in that state, Edo State. They are in opposition. Now they are going into an election where they want to wrestle power from the ruling party in that state.
Yes.
They are going in fragments. So they have, ab initio, failed. Because by the time they finish out of court, the other party, the ruling party has, they will be looking at them. They will be laughing at them. They have already consolidated. Because it is going to cost them that victory they had wanted to. Now, from what I heard yesterday, the preferred candidate was fixed from the villa. That whatever happens, that is our candidate.
Yes.
And the person that was sent there to go and be the chief umpire, the governor of Imo State, Uzodinma, of course, has to play. Of course, we all know the role of Uzodinma in Nigerian politics.
Hope Uzodinma, yes.
We know his roles. So he's Mr. Fix-It. And he has gone there to fix that. In another primaries, another person emerged. In another one, another person emerged, making three of them. So who is the authentic candidate for the party ahead of the election now? They don't have one, because all of them will go, they will be in court. Before they finish from court, the elections are already here. And PDP will just come out victorious. That is how it is. That's how it is. And it's going to be like that. I don't have pity for them, because they are the ones that yes, they are the ones that shot themselves on their foot.
Yes,
and let them heal their own wounds.
Let's take a look at, still on the Vanguard, we're going to take a look at the capture on this, on the paper. It says, hardship paralyzing lives nationwide. And of course, the Catholic Bishop of Cannes has come out. Of course, we've heard the Sultan has come during that Arewa House incident, calming the youths. And now the Christian Association of Nigeria, the Catholic bishops have come out to say the hardship paralyzing lives nationwide. When you say paralyzing lives, at what gravity is that? Or in your own take, what's your take on that particular capture?
You see, it was succinctly put the way it should be put by the editorial committee of the newspaper.
True.
You understand? Because lives have been paralyzed
A lot of people are
on
dying.
daily basis. Do you know, as we speak now, how many people have not eaten in the last 24 hours? Somebody sent me a video yesterday and said, in fact, I saw an egg that had been sellotaped. An egg that he had just taken half. And so he had to sellotape the other half for the next day.
Oh my goodness.
It has come to that. One egg. The poultry farmers will tell you, crack an egg a day, it makes you good. This is not the time for that phrase any longer. It has gone beyond cracking an egg a day. You cannot. Where is the egg to crack? One egg alone, you don't have what it costs in the market now.
200 naira.
200 naira. And your salary has not increased. Fuel has increased. Gas, cooking gas
has increased.
has increased.
Yes, almost 18,000.
Now the pressure is now on charcoal and firewood, which has also gone up, because you can never buy it the way you normally buy it before.
No, you cannot.
It's not possible. It's not possible. So that caption in that paper was succinct to the fact that it talks to Nigerians directly. It talks to the government directly. And the Catholic bishops also said it very well. It's a caution to Nigerians. It's a caution to the government. We are dying. I remember there was one conference, national conference, where they talked about derivation in Nigeria. It held at International Conference Center.
Okay.
And they were trying to up derivation from 13% to about 20-25%. And the other side of the country said, no, you already have this 13%, go with it. And they moved out. And the phrase then was, we are going home. And, and that conference closed. So now, Nigerians are dying, Nigerians are suffering. The government should sit up and make sure that the country bounces back. This is not the country we prayed for.
No.
In fact, somebody told me if he knew that he was coming to Nigeria, he would have asked God to take him to another country. If it was possible.
Oh, that's funny.
If it was possible. But of course, you cannot question God.
No, you
cannot. God brought us here,
for a
and
reason.
we all must be here to make sure Nigeria goes the way we want it to go.
And Nigeria will be great again. Let's be hopeful. Let's be positive.
Yeah.
And then let's look at the last paper, which is The Nation. Can our producer put it on The Nation so I can read some captions, some very interesting captions on The Nation? And talking about hardship, and then The Nation, it says, Shettima, Akume, Akpabio, Wike, hardship over soon. And then we've read about the petrol tanker, which is making lead in all the newspapers. Petrol tanker owners suspend production loading, stimulate local production to end forex crisis. And of course, the big caption there, Akiti. Did I pronounce that well?
That is an advertorial. I would not even want to go to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, talking about Akeredolu, who is an incredible voice. We won't talk about that. And then let's just look at the words of Shettima, Akume, Akpabio, and Wike, who is actually encouraging Nigerians that the hardship will be over soon. How true is this statement with all of these things? And we've heard that the monitoring when it comes to bringing down food crisis has been on hold. And our president, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, has said that there's no going to be importation of food or the regulation when it comes to the food cost of Nigeria. So is that supposed to be encouraging, or is it believable, or what are we supposed to pick out from that particular hardship over soon?
You see, that brings me to a statement by one politician. Then, MPN days, he was a minister, Alhaji Uba Ahmed. When a newspaper at that time said Nigerians are hungry, Uba Ahmed came out to say Nigerians are not hungry until they start picking from the dustbins. So you can imagine that.
Where they wanted to get to.
You are there in that comfort zone, in that glass house. You don't even go to the street to see what Nigerians are going through. And from there you are replying. Then those people that are feeling the bunch are telling you that this is the situation. Like Akume, Shettima, Akpabio, and the rest of them.
Wike.
Let them go to Nyanya. Let them go to Maraba. Let them go to Suleja and the suburb and see what Nigerians are passing through.
Mr. Ayen, let me just interject a bit. You know, with all of these, that caption that we saw, it's very disheartening for me, I would say.
Very to me too.
You know why? Because you know, Wike that was in Rivers, and he said he's talking about 2027 that the presidency is going to come to Rivers. Is that what Nigeria? Is that what we want to hear at this point?
In fact,
is that what we want to listen to at this point?
Wike has his own aspect of life. I don't think if he grew up in Nigeria to see what exactly Nigerians are going. Now, Wike, which party is he talking about? Because I have never heard him announce that he has shifted to APC. So long as I'm concerned, Wike is still in PDP. So which party is he talking about that is going to remain in power in 2027? When we have not even talked about the
2024.
In fact, let us say 1 year of this administration. We have not talked about that.
And the issue at hand.
And the issue at hand is talking about 2027, that we don't know if God will allow us to see that year, that period. We don't even know, because that period is in the hands of God. We are here. Look, he's just an opportunist, for goodness sake. Wike is an opportunist. Because why federal government or Tinubu even brought him to that seat? He should thank his God. He should even thank his God for all the crises he created in Rivers State. And he's coming to the federal capital to start telling us about 2027. Have we finished 2024? For goodness sake, let us be truthful to ourselves.
Let's be truthful. In fact, that statement alone, when I read it this morning, I wondered myself. Now, let us talk about, still on The Nation newspaper. It says, stimulate local production to end Forex crisis. Now, when I looked at that caption on local production, there was a news I read about how cement has risen to 13,000 naira, and it is made here in Nigeria. We use local materials, and yet the hike of cement when it comes to blocks and all of that, and yet the price is nothing to write home about. The increase is this. Would you look at this and say this is the way to go? When you look at the local production, look at local rice. Local rice is 55,000 naira, some 60, some 68, and then some will tell you 75. It depends on the brand and how it is. Now, looking at this that says stimulate local production, it will end forest crisis. How possible is this?
You see, when you talk about local production, let us start with this rice that you just mentioned.
Yes, please.
During the period of Buhari, they banned importation of rice, and encouraged local rice farmers to go out there and bring, so that Nigeria can be rice sufficient, or if I may put it so. As a result of that, to show that Nigerians are now able to produce rice, they went and did some kangaroo pyramids along the airport road. Because when you build a pyramid and you now put rice on top of it, then the inside is hollow. You understand? The inside is hollow. So there is nothing. You just deceive Nigerians into believing that there was something there. Yeah. No, it's not funny. I'm telling you, it's not funny.
I'm laughing because I saw that pyramid. A lot of things happened. A lot of things happened.
A lot of things happened. Now, let us come to cement now. Only about 3 weeks ago, I know somebody who bought cement around 5,800 naira.
Lagos 5,500.
But just within this short time. So you don't want Nigerians to build houses again? And you know the reflex of it is that whenever cost of building materials go up, a landlord who has built his house 20 years ago will come and tell you that he's increasing his rent because prices have gone up. Meanwhile, what is it that you are doing in that house again? You have already built a house and the occupant is there. Or the highest is that they'll come and tell you, I want you to leave this house. My son wants to use it. He's coming back from Canada. He wants to use this house. He wants to give it out to another person at a higher cost.
Oh, yes.
So that is exactly where we are drifting to.
All right, thank you, Mr. James Ayani, for being a part of the paper review. And we'll be able
Sunday Ayami.
Mr. Sunday Ayani?
Ayami.
Oh, Mr. Sunday Ayami, thank you so much for being a part of the paper review. And of course, to Blessed Mina, who was unable to join us via Zoom due to the network issue. But with that, we're back and we're better. And I hope, Mr. Sunday, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being a part of the paper review. Well appreciated with your opinion. And that is it. We will be wrapping it up on the newspaper review. Up next are some very interesting topics with Anthony Momodu. Do not go anywhere. Global Morning will be back.